players come in and it changes the culture. It changes the way things work. Well, Jeff Saturday can tell us exactly what that means with a story that you were telling me this morning. Jeff, it's fascinating.
Yeah, so listen, I know some coaches down there who coach in Indianapolis, and we've been talking all season about Tom Brady and some stories that kind of give you great examples of what he's talking about. How do you change culture? Well, they're on the bus, I think it was either Thursday or Friday of this week. This is Super Bowl week, right, Greeny? Like, you're leading up to the most intense game in most of these guys' career, not for Tom, but for everybody else, and they're back in the bus, and somebody makes the comment to Tom and Gronk about, hey, how does it feel being in your first Super Bowl without scandal? You know what I mean? Like, without any issues. And they said both those guys laugh and they love it, and they look back and they're like, how does it feel to be in your first ever playoff win? You know what I mean? So the banter going back and forth is just a thing of beauty, and that humility that he plays with and that he kind of ingratiates to his teammates is just fantastic. And then they talked about, like, the serious side of Tom Brady, right? That when Antonio Brown came to the organization, to the Buccaneers midway through the season now, and they had some struggles midway, it was Tom who goes and picks him up. It's Tom who lets him stay in his home and talks about, you know, hey, man, you got to be part of this family. Leonard Fournette, who we know left Jacksonville under some issues, right, is he brings Fournette into the fold and talks about, hey, Leonard, man, if you run your route like this, you know, if you're swinging out of the backfield this way, there's nobody in the world that can cover you. You're too good. You're too physical. As the season progressed and he became bigger part of this offense, you know, Tom encouraged him in those things. And I think it's the both and in those scenarios, that he's just one of the guys, that he's not an NFL superstar quarterback who's got too many things going on that he can't go get with his teammates. It's those things, Greeny, that change the culture in organizations. And like you said, when Bruce Arians said, hey, he's a winner, he's done this before. No, he hadn't done it before. He's done it 7 times, right? Winning it, not getting there, been there 10. How important is that? How much credibility does that give that man in that locker room, and how everybody else pulls off of that? Man, just incredible stories, and that's the defining moment of who Tom Brady is.
And Marcus, you understand the dynamics of a locker room as well as anybody, and just how important that kind of stuff is, and that is one big reason why the Buccaneers are where they are right now.
Absolutely. The believability. Gee, I think what Jeff said is a part of what we understand leadership to be. Not only, look, the main priority is winning in that league. Like, I don't want people to get it twisted. You could be all the leader you want to be, but if you're not out there doing your job at a high level, the words are just not falling on people's ears the same. And the fact that you have a guy that's going to come in where you know you can win with. You don't hope to win with him. You know you can win with him. All of the moves that were made, all of the things that he saw that they needed in order to win a championship, it was actually reaffirming to everyone else why Tom Brady has had the amount of success that he's had. Everybody plays with a little more juice when you have that guy. Everyone, it permeates through the whole team. The coaching staff, the people that work in the support staff, it changes the dynamic of everything when you know you can win, as opposed to hoping you can get the job done. And that's what Tom Brady provides more than anything.
It's fascinating. So those are some of the intangibles, and it was nice to be able to put examples to them. Meanwhile, Dan Graziano, there is one very tangible thing that Tom Brady can and maybe has to do almost immediately if this team is going to get back to the same place again next year. What is that?
Well, they could extend his contract. I mean, he's signed through 2021. It's a fully guaranteed $25 million. If they do an extension, even just a one-year extension that would take him into his age 45 season, where he says he wants to be, they could save about, you know, the way that Buccaneers do contracts with roster bonuses instead of signing bonuses, they could save about $7 million on this year's cap. And you're looking at, I mean, every dollar is going to count. Chris Godwin is a free agent. Shaquille Barrett is a free agent. Levante David is a free agent. They have work to do to keep this roster together. So I would not be surprised at all to see the Buccaneers extend Tom Brady's contract for cap purposes and potentially because he wants to be there more than the initial 2 years. Man, that Jeff Saturday story, though, I mean, the 4 guys that the 4 touchdowns in the Super Bowl were scored by guys that Tom Brady made them sign, right? Fournette and Gronk and AB. Like, but just like, not just we need to get this guy, but AB, we need to get this guy, and now I'm going to help sell it in the locker room so that it works. Like, this guy's all in in that organization. It's not just some mercenary they went out and got.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.